Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1721 of our daily content grind. So this is going to be a video just for me. I'll say that right off the bat because I know when the algorithm is going to tank, I don't care. This was a really cool moment for me and I want to share it with everybody. First off, I will do a little programming update. Monday is going to be the first of the month, meaning the news roundup is going to take priority over the monthly Q&A. Monthly Q&A is going to be on the 31st. So if you have your questions you want to get in, this is your final call. You've got roughly a day and a half to get them in. So that little heads up out of the way, let me tell you what it's like to go to a Weird Al Yankovic concert for no one who has gotten to do it. So this is his Bigger and Weirder 2026 tour. I went to the event in Estero, Florida on May 27th, 2026. Which is only the second stop of this tour, meaning the man wasn't even worn out yet, which is pretty cool. Suffice to say, the show's fantastic. Everyone told me beforehand that, yeah, like Weird Al puts on a really fun show. And yes, he does. It was fantastic. So I'm just going to share my experiences of going. So for a heads up, I did go VIP, which means I was around for a meet and greet with the man. We're going to talk about that at the end. But I just want to give you an idea of, like, because I couldn't find anyone talking about, like, the VIP experience per se. And so I'll tell you what it's like. So you get a little, it depends on how the arena's set up, but there was an entrance specifically for VIPs with its own check-in security thing and all that. They walk you in, first off, like if you have a backstage thing, they bring you in first, you take priority. But if you just have normal VIP, you walk in, go through the security stuff, scan your ticket, and then walk in, they check your name off on a sheet of paper and give you you get a little like a lanyard to designate that yes, you are in the VIP group, but also you get a sticker, and the sticker is for the meet and greet later on. So they have like two designations. Do not lose your sticker. But really, like, VIPs got into the venue at 5:30, and then 6:30 they let in the non-VIP crowd, the normal crowd, and really, there's not a lot to do. If I'm being completely honest, there's not a lot to do as a VIP while you are waiting for them to let you sit down, because they're still doing sound checks and check all that while they're letting people in. So you are not allowed to go in until everything is completely done. I understand that. But it's a social experience, So if you are there, any of the other VIPs that are present in advance, you just kind of chill with, hang out with, talk to a little bit. There's a man behind me in light up Viking horns. Just for whatever reason. There was a girl there with a chicken on her head. Not a live chicken. It was a chicken hat. Interesting people. Weird Al draws an interesting crowd. Let's put it that way. But yeah, like, if you are not a social butterfly, I am not a social butterfly, by the way. Yeah, it kind of just gets to be just like you get to walk just a section of the arena back and forth. They blocked off a section on the one side, they block off a section on the other, so you can only go so far. And really all you can do is collect your merch and go shop for more merch or get yourself like a snack. It's a good thought to get something to eat before you enter. So, as part of the VIP package, what you end up with is a lovely tote bag with the graphics for this tour on it. You will get a poster during the VIP meet and greet section. If you do not have something for Al to sign, he will sign the poster instead. I had something to sign. I'll show you at the end what it was. But this is more like a general advisement. The tote and the poster are the same ones that are available at the merch booth. So if you're going VIP, do not accidentally double purchase because it's the same stuff. All right. What is exclusive to VIP is the bomber jacket. It is satin. It is very nice quality. It does feel and look very good. I got mine in XL, by the way. I wear an XL shirt. And lengthwise, everything fit me just right. Everything just came up right to the wrists, waist length, perfect, exactly what I expect out of a jacket. My only issue is I need to drop, let's be honest, probably a good 40 pounds. I am not in shape. But like, I think I'm like 15 to 20 pounds heavy to zip the jacket up, like comfortably. I could probably suck it in and zip it up. But in the name of not harming the jacket, I will, I will wait until I have lost weight. But no, the jacket is very high quality, and again, is only available if you get a VIP pass, which is fantastic. The back side is funny. So, close personal friend of Al. So, this is amusing considering you have to pay to get the jacket. Apparently, you can buy Weird Al's friendship with the cost of a VIP package, but that's part of the joke. That's part of the joke. Very, very good perk for a VIP, though. Now, if you want the normal merch stand, this is what it looks like as far as the 2026 tour. I posted this on the Weird Al Reddit, and everyone super appreciated this because I was looking so I could plan my purchases in advance. So I made sure to take a photo for everyone else. There's also a tour pin, which is an accordion, and there's also a set of cards, and I'll show you what those cards look like here in a second. Expect normal like touring band prices on everything. It is kind of steep for what you are getting, but also a lot of this merch is only sold at the live performances. There's a few things here that I did not see on his official merch shop, and there's some stuff that is personalized to the event. The posters are printed with the venue and the city and the date, and then obviously the tour shirt is only printed for that particular tour. So yes, you do have a few things that are exclusive to it. And okay, yeah, I'll pay up a little bit more because this is stuff specific to the show I saw. Also, what is not pictured, there are actually a few albums available too. Not Al's, just one for his opening act, Puddles. We'll talk about Puddles too, and one for his band member, Steve J, who's his bass guitarist, who was just loitering around during the VIP section. That was weird. That was weird. Just kind of like walk up to the merch stand and go, wait, wait a minute. It was funny though. It was funny. One thing I will tell you. My venue had 2 merch stands set up during the VIP section. Please make sure that you are going to both of them before you make purchases, because sometimes one will have inventory the other doesn't have. I bought a very expensive shirt that I shouldn't have bought because I went to the first merch stand and went, oh, well, the shirt I wanted isn't here. That's a shame. I guess I'll get this more expensive one instead. And I walk around to the corner, and then you see the one that I'm showing you right now, which actually has the shirt I was after. Let me show you what I got. So I got the trading cards. They're all holographic. It's all in one pack, and there's only 10 of them. So every pack has all 10 cards, so you don't need to go like, oh my god, I don't have the super rare white nerdy card. Oh no. No, you get them all. It's fun artwork, and it's a lot of his bigger hits over the years, so it's an amusing collection to have. I almost hope that there is like a series 2 so I can get some of my favorite songs in there, because there wasn't one for Dare to Be Stupid. We can't have all the songs. Speaking of, I also got the cup set that you see here. Old school, just like print cup kind of things, which I don't see anywhere anymore. But nice to see like his some of the albums I really like. So you got Mandatory Fun, you got Straight Out of Linwood, Dare to Be Stupid, and Bad Hair Day. I got it because it was the only thing I could find that had anything Dare to Be Stupid. But it also has Bad Hair Day. and that is the first Weird Al album I ever listened to. Borrowed it from my friend's sister in middle school. And then, obviously, like, Dare to Be Stupid's always important because it's the first song I ever heard, since it was on the soundtrack to the Transformers '86 movie. So, I don't normally go for cup things. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I wanted them because nostalgia connection. There's the tour shirt. I was wearing that yesterday here at the shop, and the tour shirt is lovely. Fits very nice. I do like the design on it too. So, typical stuff. And then there's this shirt. This is the shirt that I kind of wanted. I wanted a white nerdy shirt because... And I hate that this one is actually a little tight on me. So, again, like the jacket, I gotta shed some weight before I get to rock that. And then there's the thing I shouldn't have bought because, yeah, for reasons. Al sells his own Hawaiian shirts. That was the one thing I noticed. People who were in line with me, who were in the VIP with me, so many of them had Hawaiian shirts like Al tends to wear. And so they didn't have that. They were dressed in whatever weird thing that they could come up with, like the Viking horns or the chicken hat, things like that. Me, I was wearing what I wear whenever I go to Galaxy's Edge, which is my Spaceballs / Calvin and Hobbes mashup shirt. I thought I'll wear a parody of a parody, and it will be funny to wear to a Weird Al show. No one noticed, no one cared. But I felt out of dress without the Hawaiian shirt. So, okay, fine. I'll use it as a costume in a skit for a video and write it off the taxes. I guess. I don't know. But no, that's like the beforehand experience. That's like what you do before the show itself. You buy merch, you hang out with people, you get a snack, and you kind of just like burn an hour's worth of time before they actually let you go to your seat. But let's talk about the show itself. I know I've talked way too long about just stuff I bought and things that I did, which was basically wait around. The opening is Puddle's Pity Party, and Puddle's the clown. Now, I saw his name on the poster. I have never heard of him before, which my girlfriend scolded me for. How do you not know Puddles? He's never come up on my TikTok or my YouTube feed. I'm sorry. But I wanted to go in blind. I figured I could look him up or look up his act. I wanted to go in blind. And it is a great act. Aside from just, he does have a really good singing voice. And I do like a lot of songs he covered. The songs kind of play into the sad clown motif of, it's a lot of songs where sung the right way can either draw like a sad reaction or a pity reaction, but because that's the shtick he's going for, there's also a humor to it. It's a very interesting performative vibe that Puddles brings. Puddles will also pull people from the crowd and get them to help him out for things. And sometimes it's as simple as, like, here's a prop guitar. Just pretend like you're strumming it while we perform. One time it was a guy who had to dress in a costume of a tequila bottle while he sings a song about drinking and taking turns sitting on each other's lap, and it was super weird. Not the weirdest. The weirdest is when he pulls a guy up on stage, sits him down on a bar stool, puts his hands together like this, and he puts a single tart, just like a little pastry with a strawberry on top, and he basically just has him hold it right there, and then he picks up a selfie stick with a camera with a phone attached to it, and the phone is broadcasting to the big screen behind him, and he begins to sing Under Pressure, and then he points the camera directly in this man's face and directly down at the tart. He is peer pressuring this man with the help of an entire audience of thousands, into eating this tart while the camera watches him do it. Keep in mind, Puddles is a near 7-foot tall clown. This is a very intimidating situation to be into, all for the sake of eating a tiny pastry. And the crowd erupts into applause when he finally breaks down and eats the frickin' thing. It's the strangest sight I've ever seen. But it's incredible. It's a very appropriate opening act for Weird Al. We'll say that. Oh, and then what to say about the show itself. Oh my god. So Al does like a 2 hour 15 2 hour 15 show. So if Puddles is supposed to take the stage at like 7:30, then he goes about 40 minutes. There is a intermission for you to very quickly go get a snack or something. You don't really have a whole lot of time, but then Weird Al will come out, do about 2 hours of performance. He starts with Tacky, which he's been doing since he came up with the song. The song is perfect for the entrance. And what he does, if you've never seen it before, he has a camera following him the entire time as he walks through the arena. And just like talking to security guards, do a quick little pie to the face to Puddles. Weird stuff. But it's all him just like walking through and then making his way into the stadium bowl itself through the crowd and up onto the stage. And it's a perfect entrance for it, because it's not like a ladies and gentlemen, Weird Al Yankovic. No. They just hit the music and he just starts. It's such a high energy way of starting a show. It's perfect. So amongst all the songs he sung, he did sing a lot of the ones that I really, really was hoping for. He did Dare to Be Stupid. He did White and Nerdy. He did Fat, which he still puts on the fat suit for. I assume it's a lighter version than what he used in the music video. But to do what he does at his age and then still put on the fat suit and bounce around is amazing. He still has that energy. He'll still throw a high kick here and there too. Like, he keeps very, very good shape. What else? We got a polka medley, because of course we got a polka medley. One I hadn't heard before too. So I don't know if it's like a newer one that I just missed, or if it is one he does only on tour, but oh my god, he did one huge medley of his songs. He did one section which is just for cartoon openings he did, and they're both modern cartoons. Like, one was like the Captain Underpants theme, so he did those. I was hoping he'd throw the theme song of his own children's show in there, but I think the Weird Al, that was a very rapid song. He tends to not do the rapid songs in the concert anymore. But no, the singing was spot on. It's absolutely fantastic. Just like the energy in the room is incredible. People singing along to certain segments. He did Smells Like Nirvana, and there's a line in there where he goes, and I forget the next verse. And in the album version, there's a full section of that song. There's lines that follow it. But on stage, he just kind of pretends to literally forget the next line or two. And the crowd, without missing a beat, sings the lines that are missing. It's a fantastic moment to experience. Crowd is on point for very, very specific songs. Dare to Be Stupid. He'll aim the mic at the crowd and give them like one Dare to Be Stupid. In between songs that require costume change, he will play videos, and it's TV and movies that are referencing him, or TV and movies as he appeared for. There used to be an animated Rekgar appearance that's taken out now. It's a different clip of someone referring to Dare to Be Stupid. But one of the clips is like they'll play the opening for the music video for Fat, and one of the things that everyone sung along with was Ding dong. Ding dong, man. Ding dong, yo. Everyone. We're just sitting watching it and going like, "Oh, I remember this." And then he pulls out the ding dong and the entire stadium just follows along. Didn't miss a beat. Singing along with Yoda at the end is great too. He does the fake out thing where like he will say goodnight. It's a big Rick James kind of like send off type thing after he does Amish Paradise. But it's a front. There is an encore. And they don't give you very long. They don't make you wait too long. Like there's a couple minutes where the crowd is just roaring and cheering after he leaves the stage, and it looks like they're done because they put away their instruments and everyone's left the stage, but everyone's just changing into costume. So, they slowly start making their way back. The 501st, because there's always 501st willing to come by and be an extra in Weird Al's show, because why wouldn't you? This just amazes me. No matter where he tours, there's just people with stormtrooper costumes just ready to go. And they do The Saga Begins and Yoda. And Yoda is another one of my favorite songs. I love that it is the finale of his shows and has been for a long time now. Getting to sing along with the crowd to that was great. During live concerts, there will be a breakdown during like the final Yodas at the end of the song. And it's literally just whatever vocal stems he and the band likes that they can stitch together. And it gets longer and more complex the longer he has done this. And he's been doing this for like a decade. It's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I do want to point out, I may or may not have gotten that. I may or may not have recorded that because it's one of my favorite songs. And I wanted to hear what unique version we have for this tour. But I will point out that the arena has a strict no filming policy. Do not pull out your camera and record this performance. They tell you as you get your ticket in your inbox, and then there were probably like 50 people recording this show. Oh my god. No one cared. And there's security just like guiding to the people to their seats. The girl next to me has her phone up like this, very obviously recording, and no one stops anyone. I feel like Al is just like, no, let them have their fun. So I did one little sneaky recording. Maybe two, maybe three. They're terribly shot. They're not worth anything. It's just for my own personal memories. But no, it was fantastic, top to bottom. Absolutely thrilled. Fun show to be at. Fun energy to be around. I mean, I've done wrestling events, so I know like the energy a live crowd can provide. It is a different vibe when it is a concert, especially when it is a concert like Weird Al, where it's not like slamming drums and screaming all the time. There's no mosh pit. There's no mosh pit at a Weird Al concert. So it's a little bit more calm in the room, and you can kind of like enjoy like a friendlier atmosphere. So amazing show. Well, I would love to do it again if he ever comes back to the area. Set list wise, I got pretty much all the favorite songs I wanted to hear. There's a couple of odd choices. There was a couple of odd choices. Stop Forwarding That Crap to me feels like kind of a dated song. I like it because it mentions George Carlin, but I can think of a few songs I would have preferred to have in that spot. But that's just me. Then we get to the VIP afterwards. So it's different for every venue, but they'll tell you where to go. They'll tell you where it is going to be when you check in as VIP. So, yeah, let's talk about this moment. Let's talk about this. So, for one, I hate seeing myself in photos. I think in video I look fine. I think in still photos I look terrible. So you'll excuse me if I'm just like a little bit weird here. But No, it's fantastic. So it's a line of like 50 people who are waiting after the show, um, and I'm there, just kind of biding my time because I took my time to get out of there because the crowd was so dense. Like in my section, I was like third row, so everyone was like most of the crowd is behind me. So them trying to file out of the exit first meant I had to wait quite a bit. And by the time and I was on like my exit was like the far side of the bowl. That'd go all the way around the stadium. So by the time I got there, all the other VIPs are already lined up. There's only one guy and his kid behind me. Like I was almost dead last in line. So you basically hang out, you talk a little bit amongst the people who are there. They're still all wired up. You watch the stormtroopers file out, which is kind of neat. And then you watch Al's band members loiter again. So Jim West was also walking around this time. Saw him after the show. Jim West was there. Steve J, and then John Bermuda Schwartz, who's been with Al since the very first parody. Loved that he's still doing it. They're just walking around, which is cool to see them too. Now, the meeting itself is like 20 to 30 seconds. You do not get much time with the man. This is after the concert. They are tired. They are, but Weird Al still puts on a smile, still has energy for you. They'll take your bags. And I'll say this, like all the staff in charge of this, extremely friendly and welcoming. I didn't feel like I was being barked around to keep on just to keep Al on schedule. I feel like it was all gentle guiding, even from the arena security. Everyone there is trying to maintain like a positive, have fun atmosphere, which is great. So you walk in, they've got the backdrop set up, and Al's doing the autograph on one side for the previous person. His staff takes the bags, asks, is there anything? It's like, you can actually request a pose. So if you're going to get VIP, make sure to have something in mind for the photo, because he is willing to do something special pose-wise or whatever. So keep that in mind. So for that, I pride myself in keeping my cool amongst celebrities and people that are very meaningful to me. Like in the case of things like I met my favorite voice actor, Scott McNeil, held my cool pretty well. I've met Kevin Conroy, the Batman, kept my cool. I've done pretty good at this. Steve Bloom, huge voice actor, very important to me, kept my cool. He's the only one who flustered me a little bit though. Different story. And with Al, I kept my cool pretty well. We were smiling, shaking hands before the photo. He was really shocked at. I guess I explained it. So I got that goes on. But like you get like while he's autographing, you can ask him a quick question, or you can tell him a quick little anecdote or something. You don't get a whole lot of time, but like in the time it takes for him to sign his name, you can get something in. So like in my case, I'm not going to like go into friend groups or anything like that. I'm not going to be too specific about this one. The people who know will know. That's fine. But I told a friend group that I was waiting in line in the VIP before the show. And because they knew I was going to the concert, so I was basically just announcing, "Hey, I'm at the concert." And one of them texts back, "I let him know." Because said friend knows the man and can just text him that. So I stare at this reply, "I let him know," for like a good 2 or 3 minutes. My brain is currently, at the time, trying to generate a password in my head. All that's going through my brain are just random symbols, characters that are, including upper and lowercase, and one special character and number, and do not have any duplicate letters next to each other, that kind of thing. Like, it's just like, what do you mean? What do you mean you let him know? I forgot that you could just do that. So I mentioned that, and you're like, oh yeah, like, so he got the text. That's a weird moment to know that Weird Al was made aware of my approach. But it makes the moment a little bit more special. It does, and I thank my friend if they end up watching. I thank my friend for doing that for me, because it didn't lead to any like special treatment or anything, but it's a nice little like, hey, we have a mutual friend kind of thing. So, autograph. I was almost going to buy an animated Wreck-Gar. I found one came up a couple weeks ago on eBay for like $120, still sealed, great condition. I thought, okay, if I'm gonna grab any anime toy for Transformers, it's gonna be that. But then I remembered what else I had. And when I polled my friends, they all told me, no, do the other thing instead. So Weird Al has now joined the Transformers DVD signature collection. There's 11 names on this box now, Weird Al being the most famous among them. It's very rapidly running out of room. He is signed over the logo. It might be a little bit hard to see, but he's in there. Like I said, it's where I first heard the man. It's a very appropriate autograph to get. And yeah, I'm glad I went with the DVD. It's becoming an incredibly special piece. Al was really surprised by how many names were on it. And the first one he pointed to was Stan Bush, because of course he pointed out the musician first amongst all the other names. The guy in line behind me was really shocked because he knew the original Transformer cast. So I was pointing out all the different names to him, and he's like pointing at his sons like, that's really special. That's a really special piece. Like, he wanted a photo of it. Like, he was like enamored by this thing. So yeah, Weird Al joins that. I think if I can get like, there's very little room left on the cover itself. There's a few names I wouldn't mind adding to it. Vince DiCola, so I can have them, both. So I can basically have like 3 different musicians from the movie on it at one time. Sue Blue is a huge one. I would love to get Sue Blue. If I could get Sue Blues on there, I would call it complete. Like, I might still add to it from time to time if given the opportunity, but if I can get Sue Blue's autograph on that DVD, which if a convention around here hadn't been canceled, it would have been, I would call it done. I would be happy. I would be satisfied with it. But yeah, that is the entire experience. So this was just me doing story time. For the people who are going VIP, it's a very long-winded explanation of the show you can expect. And for the people who are just curious how it went, this is probably way longer than you thought it would be. But it's an amazing vibe. You're going to get to hear and experience things that you don't get to any other way. Al will throw one song at you that is just a cover, not a parody. It's just a song he likes that he's covering. And it was great. I looked to the side, and there was just one guy in the bleachers, and he's just standing on his feet, swaying around to the song. He's the only one doing it, but you know what? He's living his best life, and he's loving the moment. So good on him. Good on him. So that is my story. That is my experience. 11 out of 10 would do again. So thank you all for listening to a very long-winded story for the day, but hey, it's a very exciting thing for me to get to do. And yeah, I will see you for something more on topic tomorrow. So I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.